The playground! The playground was Timmy's favourite place. Every afternoon Sarah brought him there, grateful for an hour of peace while he played. It had become routine, comforting, until the day she noticed him talking to someone who wasn't there. She was scrolling through her phone on the bench when she heard him laugh. Sarah looked up to see Timmy on the merry-go-round, his head tilted, nodding like he was listening to someone. "Timmy," she called. "Who are you talking to?" He grinned and pointed toward the empty swing set. "Emily," he said. Sarah frowned. "Emily? Is she your new imaginary friend?" Timmy nodded. "She's nice. She said the swings are her favourite." The swing creaked in the breeze, and Sarah felt an unexpected prickle at the back of her neck. She shook it off with a laugh. "Tell Emily it's time to go. We need to get home before it gets dark." Timmy jumped off the merry-go-round and waved at the swing as they left. "Bye, Emily. See you tomorrow." Sarah didn't look back. A couple of days later, Sarah noticed Timmy acting strangely. When they arrived at the playground, he didn't run to the slide or the swings. Instead, he sat cross-legged in the grass near the jungle gym, staring at the dark gap beneath it. "Timmy," Sarah said, walking over. "What are you doing?" "Emily told me not to go under there," he said, his voice calm and matter-of-fact. Sarah crouched beside him. "Why not?" "She said it's not safe." Sarah leaned closer, peering into the shadows under the jungle gym. It was empty, just dirt and leaves. "There's nothing there, sweetie." Timmy didn't budge. "She said that's where the bad thing happened to her." A chill ran through Sarah. "What bad thing?" "She doesn't like to talk about it," Timmy said, standing and brushing off his hands. He gave her a small, almost pitying look. Sarah forced a smile. "Let's go play on the swings." As they walked away, she felt it again, that prickle at the back of her neck. She glanced over her shoulder, but the playground was still empty. That evening, Sarah was washing dishes when she glanced out the kitchen window and saw Timmy in the backyard. He wasn't playing with his trucks or digging in the dirt. He was pacing near the fence, gesturing with his hands, his head nodding like he was deep in conversation. When he came inside, Sarah knelt to his level. "Timmy, who are you talking to out there?" He blinked, surprised. "Emily," he said, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. "Timmy," Sarah said carefully, "is Emily real, or are you pretending?" Timmy frowned, his small face darkening. "Why don't you believe me?" "Because Emily isn't real," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "She's just in your imagination." Timmy's eyes filled with anger, his lips trembling. "She's not imaginary, she's lonely. She said you know what that's like." Sarah froze. What else did she say?" "She said you left her all alone. She said you promised to help her, but you didn't." Sarah's stomach turned cold. That name, Emily. It clawed at her memory, dragging up things she'd buried long ago. "Timmy," she said softly, "Emily isn't real. You need to stop talking about her." Timmy stared at her for a long moment, then muttered, "You're making her mad," before walking to his room. A few days later, Timmy begged to go back to the playground. Sarah didn't want to go, but his pleading wore her down. By late afternoon, they were walking the familiar path, the air colder than usual, the sky grey and heavy. The playground was empty, the swings swaying in the wind. Timmy ran ahead to the jungle gym. "Go ahead and play," Sarah called, forcing a smile. Timmy stopped at the jungle gym and turned to her, his face unusually serious. "Emily said you're mad at her." Sarah's chest tightened. "Timmy, stop this. Emily isn't real." "Yes, she is," he shouted, his voice echoing. "She said you promised to watch her, but you didn't. You let the bad man take her." The words hit her like a punch to the gut. Memories came rushing back. Police cars, neighbours whispering, her parents crying. Emily. She'd been just a little girl, only 7. Sarah had been supposed to watch her that day, but she'd gotten distracted. Emily had wandered off, and they never found her. "Timmy," Sarah whispered, her voice trembling. "What does Emily want?" Timmy pointed under the jungle gym. "She wants me to go with her. She says it's nice where she is." "No," Sarah said sharply, running to him and grabbing his arm. Timmy looked up at her, his expression unnervingly calm. "She said you didn't help her. Now she's lonely." The air grew colder, the wind cutting through Sarah's jacket like ice. She turned toward the jungle gym and froze. A little girl stood in the shadows beneath it, her hair tangled, her hollow eyes locked on Sarah. "I'm sorry," Sarah whispered, tears streaming down her face. The girl stepped forward, her lips curling into a sharp smile. "She doesn't forgive you. Timmy whispered, his voice not quite his own. Sarah stumbled back, clutching him to her chest. "We're leaving," she said, her voice shaking. As they reached the car, Sarah strapped Timmy into his seat, her hands trembling. It was over. But as she closed the door, Timmy smiled at her, his eyes bright and innocent. "Emily says she'll see you at home.